What's going on, everyone? Interesting video here that I just found out about Digital Foundry, information I have. And it's what I've been telling people. And I remember you guys, some of them coming to my channel about certain things, and I was telling them they weren't handing out the dev kits to developers ahead of time. That Nintendo could have had more games, but they choose not to for some reason, and don't think that you understand the way they're thinking, maybe to some degree. They're just choosing not to give it to them. And even now, it's like, what? So yeah, I'm like, okay, this is something we're replying to. So Digital Foundry has some say on this, definitely at Gamescom. Like you see right here, developers reportedly still struggling to get Switch 2 dev kits. What a funny company. They would love to do Switch 2 versions. They can't get the hardware. And that is annoying because there's some games I think, one, Bayonetta 3, what are we doing here? The whole Bayonetta trilogy should be 4K 60 right now on the Switch 2. Xenoblade Chronicles trilogy, like Hyrule Warriors that Koei Tecmo helped develop, Fire Emblem, you know what I mean? Just a lot of games sitting there. Astral Chain, Platinum, what are we doing? You know what I mean? And Nintendo, because they have the publishing rights for that. And I think that all that should have been there at launch, or more should be happening. Obviously, there's more consistently happening, but it's ridiculous that they're not handing out dev kits even at this moment. And only to the people that they wanted to choose to. We're going to find out more right here what Digital Foundry is talking about. So let's get started.
Question though from Chris James Oliver is one I was thinking about because there's been a lot of talk about this lately that Nintendo seems to be almost discouraging Switch 2 development to some degree. Where I've spoken with plenty of developers where they were either told that their game they should just ship it on Switch 1 and rely on backwards compatibility. There's a lot of developers that are
Yeah, no, dude, that's all that resolution and stuff from Switch One. No, thank you. No, you need to step it up and go all in. If people need to be complaining, get them to fully go in all that and get every game to have a Switch 2 update. And it should be free. Or even if it's just $5, I don't care, man. It's better than having nothing. Some of that stuff I don't want to be on Switch 1 settings. Should be getting Switch 2 settings. Their backwards compatibility system is nice, but I want the GPU upgrade too. And the resolution upgrade. So that's my thing. And apparently they are not denying much to indie developers. They're trying to get indie focused, but I mean, just do that, but still send them out to other people too. I'm gonna keep
unable to
finding
get
out.
Switch 2 dev kits. We talked to a lot of devs at Gamescom this year, and so many of them said the same things. They want to ship on Switch 2. They would love to do Switch 2 versions. They can't get the hardware. Uh, it's really difficult right now. So, Oliver, do you think this would have made a difference for the console, as Chris James asks, if they would have been able to get? Do you think Nintendo regrets not getting more kits out there earlier?
I mean, I think they should, but I don't really know what Nintendo's mindset was with these types of
Right,
decisions.
right.
So I don't really understand the strategy because, like you said, even now developers are struggling to get systems. And I know that some months ago, when we were, hearing things through the grapevine and talking to people, there were some weird exclusions with some big developers struggling to get kits for games. From what we've heard, and there were some kind of weird inclusions as well. Like some indies were included, which is nice to see. But like, there's that campfire game, the kind of camera campfire game, and they're getting kits. And some big developers, on the other hand, who develop like AAA stuff, aren't.
And that's what I was telling people too, like, because I know people that have the mentality that they're mostly in the Xbox world or mostly in the PlayStation world and the PC, and they probably haven't been in the Nintendo world a lot. Though that is the biggest world, but still, a lot of people miss it. Their worlds are different, and you realize they're not very third-party friendly like you think they are. This is better than what they used to be. Yeah, Nintendo's never really been third-party friendly, and they've always been very picky about what they want on their platform. And you're like, but you could just be benefiting from getting all that. Why didn't you allow them to have that at launch? That's what I mean. And they didn't by choice. And some of those developers are like, man, I want to make some more money. You know what I mean? And usually I thought that they would push for that fully, but I'm kind of disappointed that they're not. So that's why I'm making this video because just throw them out there. Who cares? I agree with what Oliver said at this point, but I guess we need to find out more. Let's keep watching.
Necessarily in the pipeline there for kits. And then, yeah, the weird stuff about discouraging Switch 2 development explicitly for some games. I mean, for a very limited subset of games, like say you're doing like a pixel art game at 240p or something, you probably don't need a Switch 2 kit. But for the most part, I mean, there are really very few games on the Switch 1 that wouldn't benefit from being ported explicitly to Switch
Right.
2.
Mm-hmm.
And especially considering like the sales volume of the Switch 2, it's not like, developers would be in a position where they didn't want to support the new hardware. I think broadly speaking, developers do want to support the new hardware.
Yeah.
And the thing that's really stuck to me too is like, at this point, we've seen very few like proper Switch 2 editions post-launch. Like I don't think we've seen any hardly at all, really, from third-party developers in particular. Like obviously we saw, No Man's Sky, I think one or two other games in the mix there. But really it's been a very slow trickle of titles earning that Switch 2 edition badge. So yeah, I really want to see more movement on that front. I hope it's a temporary thing. I hope that in a year or two we're looking back and we're like, that was a really weird decision, but it was.
Yes, I agree 100% with what he said. That's what I think. And yeah, there's a slight disappointment for me about that because there are some games I'm looking at when I go to my Switch library and just other stuff that I wanted to wait on because I wanted to get a Switch 2 edition. It's only in that world, right? And certain third-party games where I'm like, I really was waiting on Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, right? I didn't get that game because I was hoping they were going to do that, and it still has not been updated. Bayonetta 3 still has not been updated. Astral Chain hasn't been updated. Right, a lot of those games. Luigi's Mansion 3 runs great, but even then, why not do that? I don't understand. And then, like I said, some of those other third-party games that they teamed up with, like Fire Emblem Three Houses, where's the update for that at? And then, like, not giving those other developers, the hardware to do that too. It's that to me is dumb. I'm not a fan.
Is fixed in time. I hope that's what we're looking at in a little while.
Indeed. It's funny you mentioned 2D Pixar games, though, because that's what he's talking about through Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. It's
Right.
30 FPS on
30.
Switch 1, which is unacceptable. But I think that's going to cover it for this topic. FF7 looking great.
No, seriously, that is a problem. That's another game that I skipped because it doesn't have a Switch 2 edition. What am I doing with the Switch 2 playing that at Switch 1 settings? No. Why? Because they didn't get the dev kits. Saying Shinobi, same thing, man. Come on, man.
Elden Ring, not so much. Hopefully they fix it before launch. But let's
That'll be
move on to
fine.
the next topic. Next up on the docket is a topic very near and dear to our hearts, especially one Alex Battaglia. This is
So yeah, I wonder what developers are actually saying that. Like, who's not getting them? You know what I mean? Obviously, they went to Randy. For Borderlands. Obviously, they went to Microsoft. We already see that happening to the people that they're supposed to go to. You know what I mean? But I wonder who they're denying. They're not denying Rockstar. We know that. They said they're on the way. They're not denying Square Enix. They're not denying EA. Who are these developers? I would like to know because I'm very curious. Let's see if we can read something else here. Like it's really difficult right now to even get a hold of a dev kit. Multiple developers, but who though? This guy says Nintendo can really be stupid at times. This is one of those times. Get it sorted. This is a Nintendo guy. 34 likes. That's funny. This is why, for the time being, I've been getting my indie games on Steam. But Nintendo, that's funny. Nintendo didn't really want to have another Switch IMO. I don't really know why this is an issue. They're really dropping the ball when it comes to taking care of developers who are eager to put their products on the consoles. In this sense, yes, it's a little disappointing. Yeah, because we should be getting those Switch 2 updates. Shay, let me know what you guys think about this, all right? Just wanted to have this as a highlight, but yeah, interesting stuff here. Yeah, come on, Nintendo. We need some more next gen updates and more stuff coming. All right, y'all, peace out. Let me know what y'all think. Later.